You're not on camera.
I'm leaning. It's not live yet. It's still waiting. Ow, son of a...
You son of a...
Oh, Mel's on. What's happening, Mel?
Melly Mel.
There we go. We got people.
I was just about to look something up, and just that fast, I don't remember. I don't remember what I was going to look up. Dagnabbit.
He's that way.
Dagnabbit.
And now I can't get this doggone thing back. See, this is what happens when you're out of practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're out of practice. Nothing works. Can y'all even hear us? You hear us? Hear me in the back?
Can I bring it up on my phone, or will it do something weird?
You can bring it up on your phone.
Let's see. Hit it.
What's happening? Testing. 1 2 1 2. And I say, round of applause there.
Okay.
You know what? I might need to plug my headphones in so I can actually hear the round of applause. Test. Oh, there we go. Now ain't no applause.
Don't do the air horn.
No, I'm not gonna do the air horn. There we go. That's probably why we ain't had no applause. I ain't had the volume up. See, this is what happens when you go off the reservation, so to speak, and don't do the lives on YouTube as we normally do them.
Okay.
I mean,
I do. Oh, I was going to bring up the YouTubies. So say hello to everybody. Introduce yourself. People probably forgot about us. They don't even know who we are.
Hold on. Let me make sure that... Okay, I can't do that. Can't hit that one. Can't hit that one, though.
What was that one? Why did you do that one?
I don't know. You need headphones. Because I can hear all this.
You didn't give me.
Where's your headphones at? Where's your
I have like 4 pair in that bag right there.
I'm gonna go get you a pair of headphones so you can hear.
I mean, appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Thanks a lot, Adela, for getting that song stuck.
What song you got stuck in somebody, Greg?
Probably It Takes Two.
Oh. Oh, I was all in the... My bad. My big old head was all in the camera just now.
If this is your first time tuning in, this is the part where I say we usually have it together. I apologize, but guess what? We usually don't have it together.
No, we don't.
So this is what it is.
Get out of tussle. That's left.
These are dead.
It's passed through.
Oh.
Can you hear?
I can hear.
I told you passed through.
I don't know what that means, pass through. That's when somebody shows up.
Are you on the... Is this the left ear? Or is that the right ear? Which ear are you on?
Isn't this the left ear?
I don't know. You put them on. The inside L is left. And all is right. Okay, so you had them all right. Okay.
I know my left from my right, y'all. I promise you I do.
Turn that.
Why is this so short? Like, I can't even. Okay, here we go. Give me some slack. Jeez Louise, crackers and cheese.
There you go. You good?
I'm good.
You straight?
All right. So there's no feedback.
No feedback.
Mel, stop laughing at us.
Word.
Oh. All right. So we good?
I think so. Turn this down a little bit because it sounds mad loud. Oh, it's probably because there we go. That's why it's loud. Because I had the headphones up mad loud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me hear the applause. That's a good applause.
That is a good applause.
All right.
Welcome.
You want to introduce yourself?
Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I did that all wrong. Let me start over. Rewind.
Why don't you move over some?
Rewind. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Does that work?
Depending on where you are in the world.
Depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere in the world today. Be anywhere in the world right now. But you right here with us.
All three of you.
And we greatly appreciate you for being here with us this evening. We are back. This is what? Technically episode 3?
Yes, because we had 0, 0.5, 1. This is 2.
Oh, this is technically episode 2.
Because that Woolen Folk one
was that was a 2-parter. We had to split that up.
Yeah, we had to
that
talk
was
about Woolen Folk and Rhinebeck and our apology tour. For the masks, you know.
Yeah, we did a lot on that one.
Yeah. But we're back.
We are back. Thank you for joining us.
Are we going to be consistent or?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Might not show up for another 3 months.
Listen, man.
Savor this. You might not see us till the first snowfall.
Facts.
Kidding.
FitX.
All right. So, I guess before we jump into...
Go introduce yourself. They don't know who you are.
Oh, y'all don't know me? They know me. Who doesn't know?
It might be somebody out there that don't know you.
My name
they be
is...
acting like they don't know you. That's what it is.
My name is Adela Colvin. I am the owner, operator, dyer, head dyer, only dyer over at Lola Bean Yarn Co.
Mm-hmm.
Our dye house is located in Grovetown, Georgia. I have been dyeing yarn for roughly 473 years.
Give or take a decade.
Give or take. And I have the wrists, shoulders, back, and knees to prove it.
Pain. Shoulder, wrist, neck, and back pain.
Yeah.
To prove it.
Yes.
Gotta put that pain on there because they know you're not the head detective. You just have a head and feet.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Oh, well, yeah. Anyway, so I dye yarn. I knit, I crochet. I collect yarn. I collect embroidery projects. I collect fiber, spinning wheels, e-spinners, cross stitch, coloring books, fountain pens, fountain pen addict. I just love all things crafty. So yeah, that's who I am. And I figured since we had a nice outing, we should go live stream and talk about it. Talk about the fabulous couple of days we just had, what all transpired, and the feelings we were left with afterwards.
Facts.
But before we get into that, you want to talk about the calls of the quarter real quick?
Well, first, let me introduce myself.
Oh, yeah. Who you?
See, and that's why we don't ever get along.
Come on, we only 10
Yo,
minutes. We only 10 minutes in.
I am Jimmy the model. That's who I am. That's why I be. How everybody doing? Hope everybody's okay. Hope everybody's in a good state of health, mental, physical, spiritual, all that good stuff. I am the husband of Adela Colvin, Yarn Dyer extraordinaire. I am a yarn husband. I am what was my old title?
What is Sue Speckler?
Sue Speckler, pan washer extraordinaire. I'm about to start a new union for all pan washers out there. So be on the lookout for that. Got to represent for the pan washers because we don't get no love whatsoever. And people just think it's all about just washing pans. It's deeper than that. It goes way deeper than just washing pans. It's a science to this thing.
What's the science?
We ain't got time for all that, man. I break that down. Ain't got time.
Fam, you use soap and a sponge.
Nah. It go deeper than that. See, and that's why.
I used to wash pans, you know.
Yeah, that you don't wash them no more, do you?
No.
It's like you don't cook no more either.
I cook yarn. Lots of it. Anyway, so are you finished with your introduction?
I guess, man. You know.
All right. So you want to tell people what the cause
So
of
the
the quarter
cause of the
is?
quarter is, those that don't know, we have a well, not we. So our friends at Bad Pie Fibers.
Explain what the cause of the quarter is. Each quarter before going into what the actual cause is.
You know, that's a good idea because there might be somebody on here that's never seen us go live
Mm-hmm.
and has never heard about what Lola Bianco does on a quarterly basis. So let me break this down for y'all real quick. Every quarter, Team LBYC selects a cause, an organization, something of value, something of worth to highlight and bring awareness to bring support to, and all that other good stuff. So, you know, typically it's going to be, you know, maybe it's organization, maybe it's something like, you know, the Innocence Project, maybe it's something like the Black and Missing Foundation. What other causes have we done?
We did the Black Mental Health.
Black
we
Mental
did
Health Alliance, yes.
Innocence Project, Every Town for Gun Safety.
Every Town for Gun Safety. Was that a quarter or that was just a cause? That was just
it doesn't matter. We just raised a lot of money.
We raise a lot of money for a lot of different causes that impact us, that we feel near and dear about.
Radical Threads
was
the last cause of the quarter.
That was the last cause of the quarter. For well, the first cause of the quarter for 2023, I should say. So that's what we do every quarter. We just pick a cause, and we raise funds for it. We raise, you know, to bring awareness and all other good stuff too. So this particular cause or this particular quarter, and this is something that a lot of folks have been saying, have been actually requesting. I got DMs and stuff from folks saying, "Hey, y'all should make yourselves the cause of the quarter
because y'all are just pitiful. You need all the help you can get."
So our good friends at Mad Pie Fibers, they finally were able to pin her down, corner her.
I fought.
And convince her that this should be the LBYC team, Lola Bean Yarn Co. should be a cause of the quarter because of all of the wonderful things that Lola Bean Yarn Co. has done in the world, contrary to popular belief. Right? We do a lot
contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, well, I'm more unpopular belief. I mean, there's a lot of people that are out there that swear up and down that we swindlers, we be scamming folks. You know what I'm saying? We publish the receipts. We are very transparent about all of the things that we do here. So yeah. So big shout to Mad Pie Fibers, the homies. So that's this quarter, right? We are raising funds. There is a GoFundMe page that Kiki of Mad Pie Fibers started for us. And yeah, so for the rest of the quarter, until what's the end of this quarter? The end of the quarter is June, right?
Thought it was July.
And the end of June is the all of April, all of May, all of June. So the end of June.
Okay.
So to the end of June, we'll be raising funds. So anything that we do, anytime we go live, and there's like if we're on Instagram and we put badges on, we go live, those funds go towards the cause of the quarter.
And said, Della can't even get her headphones on the right way. How could she be a swindler? You ain't lying. If you would have heard me this morning juggling doctor's appointments and showing up early to some and not at all to others.
Yo, that was funny.
I'm a mess.
Oh, Knit the Rainbow was another cause of the quarter. I forgot about that.
Thank you for telling people about Magpie Fibers and the fact that we have a GoFundMe page. But what exactly are we doing with this money that people are going to donate?
So that money is going towards the big expansion and renovation of the current dye studio. And that's going to afford us the ability and opportunity to hire on folks to work at LBYC headquarters. Right. So we're probably going to be looking for a social media manager. We're going to be looking for folks that can assist with things in the studio.
Shipping, twisting,
labeling. All those other wonderful things that right now we split between the both of us. So that's what we're doing. Ultimately, what we would like to do is be able to create a space where Adela can start to teach folks how to dye yarn. That's an eventuality, right? That's that we're going to get to that point. Get to that at some point to be able to convert the current dye studio into almost like an Airbnb type of spot where folks can come in, they can fly in, and they can get classes by yours truly.
Yep.
And we'll have in a perfect world, we'll have
a commercial
space. Pan washer? Of course.
You don't want to keep that job? Stay humble?
I mean, I'm still always going to do anything that I need to do, for the team.
But pan washing ain't one of them?
I'll wash pans.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I mean, what am I going to stop washing pans for?
I mean, if you hire somebody, you can assist me in other ways.
That's true. But, I'll do everything.
Jack of all trades.
Master of none.
All right. So now that we got thank you, Macy, the cause of the quarter talk out of the way, I'd like to thank everybody who has donated, who has shared, who has sent us, words of encouragement and just affirmations and have supported us in all of the ways. Carrie, the wandering, listen, I'm still not over Carrie. That's why I'm dyeing special linen yarn for her so we can have matching palazzo pants. Carrie did a D-stash and donated some of the proceeds of her D-stash to our cause of the quarter. Just everybody who has shown up, in any way. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a monetary contribution, because I know sometimes times are tough, but a share and just, the positive push that we're getting from people, we greatly appreciate it. We will always appreciate it. And there aren't enough words in the English lexicon that express how grateful we are for Magpie, all the magpies, and all of you. So thank you. So it was Stitches. Gigi, if you're watching, what was it? Stitches West. Gigi went to Stitches West 2000 and something.
Probably 17, 18, 19.
2000 something. 2000 something BC. And BC, I don't mean, COVID. BC means before COVID for us here. That's how we do, our time.
It's our chronology.
Yes. Was it 2020 or 2019? Anyway, Gigi was at Stitches and she FaceTimed me so that I could see. She was walking around and showing me like the different shops and the different vendors. Um, and she had walked past the Lamb and Kid booth and I yelled, "Oh my God.
Okay, there you go.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Go back, go back, go back."
She said
go
no,
back.
the last one.
Was it the last one? I have no concept of time. Anyway, Gigi went back for me and she walked around the booth and Sarah was there and I was looking.
Sarah, the Lamb and Kid.
Yes, Sarah
Fame
of the Lamb and Kid. And the aesthetic of the booth, the setup, the colors, the samples. If you've never seen a Lamb and Kid setup, if you've never been to the shop, I promise you, it's probably one of, if not the most beautiful yarn shop that I've ever been into. And I say that in all seriousness, not because we were like just there. Just as far as like what I love to see and like to see and the colors and everything. It was totally my jam. And not too long after that, I told Gigi, I said, look, we need to talk to Sarah because I need to get to the Lamb and Kid. I need to get to the actual shop. I want to go there. And some time had, lapsed and nothing really happened. Like I didn't reach out. We didn't reach out or whatever the case may be. And then I get a message from Gigi and she's like, "Hey, so we're going to go to the Lamb and Kid. Set up this meeting so we can talk about it." And we FaceTimed and we had email chains going and conversations about dates and what exactly we were going to do and what the purpose of it all was, all of that fun stuff that happens behind the scenes. And we ultimately settled on I was going to dye up some yarn and Sarah was going to dye up some yarn and a pattern was going to be designed with our yarns and we just hang out and make a party of the collaboration.
Fact.
My favorite collaborations are the ones that are easy and you don't have to work hard. When I say you don't have to work hard, obviously dyeing up a bunch of yarn is hard, right? Making sure you're crossing all your T's and dotting all of your I's. It's there's a lot of work that goes into them. So when I say easy, I mean you don't have to force it.
There you go. It's organic.
It's organic. It just kind of happens and it's effortless. And all of the moving parts come together with no hiccups, no misunderstandings. Everything just flows the way it's supposed to. And this is exactly what that was. So
it's a beautiful
thing. We decided that we were going to put some kits together for this design that we had no idea what it even was yet at that point. So what we knew was we were going to have a Gigi color, to which Sarah and I both dyed up brand new oranges. We weren't going to recycle oranges. We dyed up some freshly dyed oranges, brand new. Nobody else has ever seen them or used them before, specifically for Gigi and this event. So we did that. Then there was an Adela kit or color pattern, olive green, of course, and gray. And then Sarah really enjoys like big bright pops of color. So we knew we would have, yes, Sarah put those kits together for me back there for those shawls. And that's kind of how we started. And in comes Caitlin.
Mm.
Here comes Caitlin.
Yo, big shout to Caitlin.
Applause. Applause.
That was the first time I met Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, she is a ball of energy. Like she's hyper. Like she loves what she does. She loves the community.
Yes.
I mean, like we run across a lot of people, and we interact with a lot of people. I really enjoy my interaction with Caitlin.
Yes.
And I can't wait to interact with her again at some point.
Caitlin, so when me and Sarah were talking in terms of like designs and stuff, I am a simple girl. I love to see like those really beautiful designs that have like all those great design elements, whether it be lace, whether it be color work, whether it be cables, whether it be, baubles, all I love to see them, but do them, can't do it. Not that I can't do it. I probably can, but it would take me about 5 or 6 years to finish a simple project. When I sit and knit, it's not even about finishing the project really. It's more so about the act of like knitting for me or crocheting or making. I enjoy, the process. And simple projects work really well for me and my mind. Um, I have a few diagnoses uh, that kind of make following really intricate patterns and graphs and stuff kind of hard for me. Um, so Caitlin put together a pattern um, that is beginner friendly, right, for knitters, but that more experienced knitters would enjoy and love, the final outcome. And she named it the duet shawl. What are you doing?
I'm about to what's his face?
What?
Let other folk know that we out here.
Oh, that we live? I'm like, what is he doing over here? Is he like texting his girlfriend? But so Caitlin put together the duet shawl, and the name is perfect. The way the Lola Bean Yarn Co. yarn and the Lamb and Kid yarn came together and played so well with this pattern. She couldn't have picked a better name. So the duet shawl is here behind me. Here behind me. Let's see. Can y'all see this? Doo-doo-doo. The duet shawl is Lola Bean Yarn Co. Otebo bean and Clarence, which is it's a 100% merino.
Clarence.
I knew you were gonna do that. Aran weight base by the Lemon Kid, and you got a couple of make ones and make rights, and the rest is straight knitting. Straight knitting. You get a classic. I just realized my hat and the green in the shawl is the same colorway. So they work really, really well together. But anyway, sorry. So yeah, Caitlin did her thing and put together this pattern, and me and Gigi and Sarah got to knitting so that we'd have our samples ready for the big release. And that's kind of what happened leading up to our travels, right? So that was all the behind the scenes stuff that kind of took place before we actually hit the road and went up out to Bainbridge Island, Washington, right? As soon as Jimmy's finished, because this feels so weird. I'm like blabbing with no co-host. He is the worst Regis since he's not listening to us. He is the worst Regis. Like, I'm Kathy Lee. He's Regis. He's horrible. He's horrible. feel like he just left me here in the trenches taking grenades. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get on my phone and make an Instagram story to let people know we're live.
I'm trying to promote this.
Listen, we already let them know. If they're not here, that's their problem.
I'm trying to promote this.
We got friends here that we're talking to.
You're right.
All right.
We just talked to the friends that we got right now.
So Jimmy's an influencer. Let him work. Oh, Henny, he is.
I am no such thing.
So we got all that ready. I dyed up hundreds of skeins and shipped them out ahead of time. So they were there before we were. And Sarah and her team got to work on putting kits together and setting the store up for a phenomenal weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was for Friday night to be a ticketed event. Mm-hmm. There was food, there were beverages, there was yarn, patterns, all of those things. And then Saturday was a free brunch event. Free, for everybody, anybody to come on in and look around and shop and meet and greet and sit and knit. So that was the plan. And Thursday, Jimmy and I, the Thursday before the festivities were to begin, Jimmy and I traveled out to Bainbridge Island. How was the traveling?
So first and foremost, let me just say that trying to be nice about this.
Oh shit.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was the fact that when we got there on that particular day, there was only one ferry.
No. We got to talk about the flight to get to Bainbridge. We left the house and we're traveling. We go to the airport.
I go through
because I thought the flight was going to be like 2 hours.
Oh, this woman.
Because I have no concept of geography.
I wasn't going to put you on blast, be like.
And no, I'm honest. I keep it real with my people.
I wouldn't share that.
I wouldn't share it. Why? Because they're gonna think I'm just silly.
Listen, man.
Because I'm not bright.
Do you, fam?
Geography is not my strong suit. Many of you know before I had talked about. I was having a conversation with someone talking about different coasts and traveling, and I said, "Yeah, I've been on the West Coast. I've been to Colorado," and everybody just looked at me like they looked at Pee Wee when he said Large Marge sent him. Remember when he walked in the diner? And Pee Wee was like, Large Marge sent me, and everybody like dropped their forks. Yeah. So everybody kind of looked at me like, girl, that is not the West Coast. But anyway, I'm used to taking.
Small just said Nova Scotia all the way again.
Yes. I thought Nova Scotia was in the UK. It sounds like it should be there. Nova Scotia. When I found out it was on the East Coast up by Canada, I was amazed.
Oh my God.
I thought it was over there by like Ireland. Like you go to Edinburgh and Nova Scotia and all of those places. I had no idea. But anyway, so I'm used to taking flights on the East Coast, right? We live in Augusta, but there aren't many direct flights. We usually have to go either through Charlotte or through Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So from where we are to either of those two places is about 30, 40 minutes. That's a 40-minute flight.
Yeah.
And then usually the places we go are like an hour and a half, an hour and 50 minutes, flight. In my mind, I'm like, okay, we're going to be on this plane for 2.5 hours to get to Washington. Baby, when I looked at that boarding pass, I said, Jimmy, why is it the time change? Which is another thing that completely messed me up the entire weekend. I'm like, why does it say, is it really a 5-hour flight?
4 hours, 45 minutes, roughly.
What am I supposed to do for 5 hours on an airplane? Now, if you have ADHD like I do, sitting in one spot for 5 hours is not the move. It is not the move. But
she ain't knit though.
I didn't knit. I forced myself to go to sleep because there was no way I was going to be conscious on a flight for 5 hours and be okay. So I forced myself to sleep only to discover that my husband was taking selfies of me while I was asleep on the airplane because he thought that was hysterical. But anyway.
It was funny as shit ever.
So yeah, a 5-hour flight on top of the 40-minute flight to Charlotte.
So it was 5 hour, 40 minutes that we flew collectively on Thursday.
And
we left at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
We got to Charlotte at like 8.
Mm-hmm.
Left Charlotte at 9 and landed in Seattle roughly around 2 local time.
I don't know, because I feel like with the time change and the length of the flight, I felt like we traveled like 15 hours back in time. It was the weirdest thing. But anyway, we landed at was it SeaTac?
Yeah, SeaTac.
SeaTac. That airport feels like Gotham City. Why is that airport so dark? No disrespect to my Seattle peeps, my Washington State peeps, but that has got to be the darkest airport I have ever been in my entire. It's dark. It is gray.
We left about 9. It says 9:36,
and
we got there. Like I said, in Seattle, we got there around 1. We landed about 1:15, 1:30. Yeah, we landed about 1:15, 1:30. Then we had to go get the vehicle.
I'm still talking about the airport. Why is your airport so dark? It was like y'all only paid half y'all light bill. The airport was dark like Gotham City, and it smelled like coffee beans because there was a Starbucks everywhere I looked. Anyway, why is your airport so dark? You need to write your Congress people. But anyway, go ahead.
You special, yo. So we finally, start walking through the airport. We grab our bag, go to the shuttle, get to the rental spot. So, yo, all right. So here's the thing about when we got the rental. So we made a reservation, and she got the midsize, right?
Or standard. Like, I didn't get nothing fancy. We just needed to get us from point A to point B. I don't need luxury. I don't need a big fancy car. I don't need any of those things. Just give me something with 4 wheels that is reliable. That's what I rented. And it's cheaper.
So when we get to the counter, this is budget. We get to the counter. And the lady, she was so sweet. Right? She was funny.
She was a con artist.
Come to find out she was a con artist. But so we get there and she was like, okay, so see that you have a Kia. You don't want to be in a Kia. I could get you another vehicle for the same price. All right, so what do you want? You want a Lexus, you want a Mercedes, like we give you the manager special so you don't have to drive in a Kia. He's like, cool beans. I'll take a.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Kia. We love Kias, reliable cars. Jimmy drove one for 47 years.
I sure did, and
so the wheels fell off, literally.
Her name was Oatmeal.
Yes.
It was a beige color. It was a 05. It was a 05 Kia Sorento. I love that vehicle, but how long I had that vehicle? I bought it in 04, and that vehicle lasted me till 2017 because it was right before I left to go work for Carbon Black.
Yeah, radio stopped working.
Air conditioning stopped working.
Finally, the wheels fell off.
Literally, the wheel fell off, and it was like, yeah, it's time to time to give you up. So nothing wrong with Kias, but they said, hey, we could get you something else for the same price. We rock with it.
Fine, okay, whatever.
So they got us this GLE I forget what it was. It was a GLE, Mercedes GLE 460, I think. Might have been a 3 something. I don't know. But it was GLC because it wasn't the E. Excuse me, the E is a little high grade and a little bigger. Great vehicle. Get in it. I didn't understand nothing.
There's no knobs. There's no buttons.
They had a trackpad, a mouse pad, for the to control the screen and all that stuff. I'm like, oh snap, this is funky. I didn't know how to put the doggone thing in reverse because it didn't have a gear shift where I'm normally accustomed to. It was like a truck had the gear shift here, right? So I'm like, oh man, how do I? It almost reminded me of the time that I jacked up in Germany, and they gave me a manual, and I don't know how to drive a manual, so I couldn't even get out the parking lot. What wound up happening is every time I, try to put it in gear, I didn't realize that, for that particular one, you have to lift up the gear, the gear, and then put it into gear, right? I didn't do all that, so I put it in the gear, it was to stop it, right? And it did that about, for about 2 minutes. The person came over, was like, "Hey man, what's the problem?" I was like, "Hey man, this ain't working," And then he went in there and I seen him lift it up and put it in gear. I was like, oh.
That's what he said. Hey man, what's the problem? What did he really say?
Yeah,
He wasn't like, get out, because
no,
you hit the no.
no. Well, I mean, I did hit the thing, but he was just like,
Mhm.
and then he's like, we go back to the counter and get you automatic
Yeah,
because you
you
can't
dumb
drive no damn
American,
stick.
dumb American.
I
That's what he was
mean,
thinking.
listen, it is what it is. I wound up having to pay, insurance for that thing, but whatever.
That he hit
I hit the damn wall.
the wall.
But I didn't even hit it. I kissed the walls like that.
A very passionate kiss.
I guess because they charged me out the wild. So this is right before I went to Afghanistan. So I was like, it was already a stressful time. That added more stress. It's like, oh man, they had to dock my.
All right.
Anyway, so we get the vehicle.
Do rich people, do y'all get a class? I think when you get rich and you can afford things like a Mercedes, because I drive me a Mazda. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. When you rich, do they give y'all a class on how to use things that don't have knobs and buttons and stuff? Because I couldn't figure out nothing in that car. I tried to turn the air on and the trunk open, tried to plug in my phone and the AC turned on. Like I couldn't do nothing in that car. So being rich and having fancy car, it's overrated. So if you're ever like, oh, I wish I had a lot of money and a nice fancy car, stick to your Kias and your Mazdas and everything else because those big expensive cars, shit. Go ahead. So we drove, right?
So we get in there. We finally figured out all of the.
What did I play? Like a dork, the dork that I am.
She played music fitting for the 90s in the PNW. That's what she started playing. I'm just sitting there. I'm just, because she plays that type of music regularly.
Pearl Jam.
But she playing Pearl Jam. I'm sitting there like, really? That's
Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana. But like that whole y'all were there. Y'all old like me.
She was playing all those joints, and then after about 45 minutes, she threw Jay-Z on.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I've had enough.
So we get to driving. And so at first we put the doggone address for the hotel on Bainbridge Island into Google Maps. And that choice said 15 miles, 2.5 hours. So what the hell? Almost felt like we was about to drive in New York because anywhere like when you go New York to Jersey, it'd be saying like 3 miles, but it take like 85 minutes to drive 3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that in, and it took us to the ferry, right? So I was like, oh, that's why I take 2.5 freaking hours because the ferry, but the ferry only 35 minutes, right? And so the reason why I showed up that way is because I guess it was in sync with the ferry schedule, right? So we get to the terminal, and the lady was like, well, the next ferry doesn't leave till 3:50. Mind you, it's like 1:45, 2 o'clock at this point. Right? It's like the next ferry doesn't leave till 3:50, so you might as well go ahead and drive because by the time the ferry comes and you get loaded on, it's going to be around the same time that you get there anyway.
Yep.
It was like, okay, cool. So we put the freaking address in there. And she told us, she was like, well, every time we put the address in there, it brings us back to the terminal. She's like, oh, you got to go into your settings and click avoid waterways, avoid ferries. Oh, okay. So we did that, right? We start driving. Why, even though we put the damn exclusion in there to avoid ferries and waterway, why was it trying to take us back to the doggone terminal? So I'm driving, and it's like, yeah, so make a left here and get off the. I was like, whoa, I'm not getting off the highway. What's wrong with you? Like, 2.5 hours, just get it, right? So we finally get to the point where I'm just ignore. We was using Waze, just ignore everything that they're saying. She finally was like, well, let's use Google Maps. So you put Google Maps took us there. I was like, yes, cool. So, and I'm now, hindsight being 2020, when we got to Bainbridge Island, we realized why it kept on trying to take us back to the terminal, because that traffic in Seattle to Tacoma, yo, that traffic was nuts. Like, it was flowing, but it was still nuts. Like,
the pockets of traffic.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. But like, once you get past Tacoma, that's one of the most beautiful and scenic routes ever. We didn't get to see any mountains. I seen somebody ask if we see mountains. We didn't get to see any mountains because it was overcast. It was a little rainy, a little drizzly. So we didn't get to see any mountains, but we see mad trees. We see the potential for all of that stuff. So that was a beautiful ride.
Yep.
From once we got past Tacoma to Bainbridge Island. So that was a beautiful ride. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed each other's company on that ride, and we talked about a few things. I tried not to mention anything business related. The first few days that we were there, I tried not to mention anything business related for the whole trip, because I know how she gets with things, and it's not a negative, it's not a slight. Like, she's like, yo, whatever, because things go in one way out the other, because she likes to just look ahead at what is right in front of her when it comes to doing these types of things, doing these types of events. I'm always thinking, all right, we here, but I know what's coming down the pipe, so let's try to game plan that. And she's not with it a lot of times. So this time around, I ain't mentioned anything, right? So we just enjoy conversation and talking, and just enjoying each other's company. So we pull up to Bainbridge Island. Let me tell you.
After we crossed that Mothman Prophecies
the Mothman
Bridge.
Prophecies Bridge. If you've never seen the Mothman Prophecies, there's a bridge, and I don't want to give it away, but there's a bridge in Mothman Prophecies. It looked similar to the bridge going from, I forget what that city is, right?
Something with a P.
Something with a P. Popsicle. So driving over that bridge from that P city to Bainbridge Island is right there. But you get over that bridge.
Paulsbo. Thank you, Christina.
Appreciate it. So yeah, that bridge looks like the bridge from Mothman Prophecy. So we cross that bridge, we get to the island, and it's even more beautiful driving through the island. Like,
the houses,
the
schools.
It was
the Black Lives Matter signs.
It was one of those spots.
Pride flags.
Like, Washington is a liberal state, right? Progressive state, right? And it's definitely one of those, like, they have pockets like everywhere else.
Of course.
But like, one can feel seen and welcome when they go. Well, we felt seen and welcome.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Washington, when you start talking to me about, hey, I own a shop in Oregon, I own a shop in Washington, would you like to do a trunk show? I'm like, I don't know, you guys. I've heard stories, and I have a map that talks to me about hate groups and where they are, and y'all, nah. So I was a little worried at first, just about not about the shop that I was going to, but I wasn't too sure. Just Washington, I don't know.
But let me tell you that that was a great trip. That's high up on my list of places that is making the short list. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That Bainbridge Island is on the short list of places to either have some type of like vacation home or just to live.
Mm-hmm.
And be quite frank, I wouldn't mind living there because I felt very comfortable the entire time that I was there. And that's very I've been a lot of I live in a lot of places. I've traveled a lot
The world.
the world over. And like that's the first time that I felt very comfortable just like walking around, driving around. Like it was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
So
Nice houses, like she said, the schools. They have the middle school look like a little
little
Hudson
village,
village.
so cute. Very, you know what it was, and the reason why I don't know if I can speak for you, but as far as me being a creative, it is very much creative, like very art and dance studios and
Absolutely.
just it's a very artistic um place,
Mhm.
and I felt very much at home, kind of comfortable there.
Yeah.
I guess because of that, because creatives are different. I'm not gonna say like we're weird or we're different. We think differently, we feel differently. Um, so when you're like surrounded by creatives,
Mhm.
right? You kind of you feel that. You feed off of that. So that's why I really loved the area.
Mhm.
But
It's like we were thinking as we were driving around the island, and Steve's like, "Yo, Lola would thrive out here.
she would.
Lola would absolutely thrive in an environment like that." Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that was great. So we get to we get to the spot, and even the place that we were staying at was like, "Oh man, this is gorgeous." Right?
Mhm.
It was not too far off the water, right? Um, the little area downtown, it was nice and it was cute and all that stuff. It had some nice little pubs and shops or what have you, eateries.
The inn,
The inn at Pleasant
Pleasant Beach
Beach.
Village. If anybody's looking for a place to stay, the inn at Pleasant Beach Village was the name of the place.
Now, let me give you fair warning though, before you roll out there. If you have Verizon, you're not getting no signal. Zero signal. Like we had to connect the Wi-Fi. Luckily, the spots that we were going to on that campus had the Wi-Fi. We could connect to it, but otherwise, we driving. We put the thing to try to get to the shop. We put the shop
My
address.
phone said SOS.
We couldn't get any signal to get back to the shop, so I had to double back to the hotel, connect to the Wi-Fi, download the instructions, and then we could go. Right. That was the only kind of like setback. So I don't know if they got something against Verizon in that area. Maybe we need to get T-Mobile, AT&T or something. I don't know. But
All I know is we pulled up and my phone said SOS. I said, Jimmy, it's a setup.
listen, listen, listen.
I said, this is where it ends. They're gonna take us out. That's why my phone ain't never said SOS. Why my phone say SOS?
Facts.
What's about to happen to us
Facts.
out here in
Facts.
these woods?
Facts.
But
So we do that. We get to the shop and like we driving back another scene, nice scenic route, looking at all these beautiful houses and like she said, the Black Lives Matter pride, like it was freaking like
when you live somewhere where a Black Lives Matter sign might get your house burnt down,
oh my god, yo.
or a
I was about to say
pride
all that.
flag hanging outside your house might get like your home vandalized, and you go somewhere and it's like, wait, they do this openly?
Veterans for Biden. Like
I was like,
it was surreal.
They're
Like,
not scared that somebody's gonna beat them up because they're expressing so it sounds trivial, but like I said, when you come from Augusta, Georgia, the Trump flag man is still selling Trump 2024 flags up the road. So, when you go from that to that, it's refreshing.
it's refreshing. It's different. It feels right.
Mm-hmm.
It feels right. And like Washington State is not in the bottom 10 of education and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So that's comforting because people are educated
Mm-hmm.
in Washington. People have common sense in Washington. People don't do like. Granted, it's probably people that do dumb things and probably adjacent to all of that wild stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not in your face. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I don't even think it was real subtle out there either. Like like I said, I'm walking up and down the block, everybody's smiling, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is freaking great.
Yep.
I love this. So anyway, we drive into the downtown area where the shop is. And like that is a nice area as well. Like, I like the layout of it. It's not it's beautiful, it's great. Um, we get to the shop. And as Adela was talking about the aesthetics and all that stuff of the booth, and I seen pictures of their booth setups, and like it was
You got to
glorious.
see their booth at Willem Folk.
I did see their booth at Willing Folk. That's
Mhm.
right. It felt like it essentially felt like they said, you know what, we're going to take our store, the same aesthetic in the store, and go mobile with it. Because I walked into the shop and it was like, wow, it's just the booth exploded.
Mhm.
Just mad space, the beautiful neon sign where everybody could see it. Where there was a couple of folks that came in there that thought it was a bar because they saw the neon sign.
And they were like, "Oh, this isn't a bar." No, but
No, it's
we
not a
have
bar.
yarn. Come
Yeah.
on in.
But yeah, go in there and like met Sarah, met the rest of the crew.
So Gigi.
Get Glassby. So my boo in there, like,
She had on regular shoes.
yeah, she didn't have on.
She didn't have on her
18-inch
18-inch stacks
to try to be taller than what she is. Still love you though. Don't be mad at me. I speak the truth. But yeah, it was wonderful to go in there and meet all of the people
behind the Lamb and
behind the
Kid.
Lamb and Kid. It was
So
big shout.
they fed us some delicious fish tacos and fish and chips.
Yo, that was probably
some of the best
fish. Some of the best fish I've ever tasted in my life.
But
it was.
At no point during
Shoba.
Hey Shoba, at no point during our stay did we need or want for anything. And when I tell you Sarah,
yeah, Blair was out there, yeah.
Bob and Ashley and everybody who works at that shop, it wasn't like, oh, these are our guests, we need to tend to them. It was, this is how we treat everybody. This is who we are, right? We are pleasant and we're fun and we're kind and we're caring and we want to make sure that you're comfortable. It wasn't, you could tell it wasn't like, you can tell when you go somewhere and people are sort of putting on.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like, oh, this is just who they are. So that was fantastic to feel, to be received.
Beck asked if we could come out to Australia.
All right, Beck, here's the thing. If y'all didn't have so many things that can kill you, we would.
Everything poisonous.
Everything in Australia can kill you.
Everything poisonous.
The ants, the spiders, the snakes, the kangaroos. I've seen aggressive koalas. Like, everything out there
She said, I'll protect you.
Everything can kill you. You know what, though?
Australia is still on my list of places to visit. Like, I still want to visit Australia.
Look, going to the mall in the US can kill
That's a
you.
fact.
I mean, that is a fact, 100%, but scorpions and
But see, that's all like the out. I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff is in it, but like a lot of the stuff that'll really kill you is out in the outback, and we're not going
spiders
out in the
as
outback.
big as Buicks. Thank you, Spalding. Thank
They
you.
do have some big ass spiders. Like there's spiders big as dinner plates out there.
Maybe I'll reach out to Julie, Little Woolly,
Yeah.
who is wonderful and used to stock Lola Bean yarn before I had to shut down some of the wholesale so I could get my life together. Maybe she'll host us. We'll go.
Yeah, there's snakes in Georgia, and it's tis the season too.
It is.
You walking Sonny and Cher last night. He was like, "Stay out the damn bushes." But we be having all types of just all rattlesnakes.
There's snakes in Georgia, right? And we have like cottonmouths and not what's the other one?
Rattlesnake.
No, not the rattlesnake. There's another one. There's cottonmouths. And there's another one people talk about always seeing. I always see it in the damn neighborhood group. But anyway, but y'all be having like these weird things. Like it'd be like a snake body with a Tasmanian devil head that shoots venom from 60 feet away. And it's not even like the things in Australia that kill you. Like here, if you see a snake and the snake sees you, if you leave it alone, it'll leave you alone.
For the most part.
In Australia, they chase you for like 7 miles, and then they go from land to sea. They freaking jump and tree. Like, no.
They got flying
snakes?
Yeah.
Come on, fam. Like, my nerves just got bad.
Yeah, Sammy in Australia too. I mean, listen, we have a lot of friends, a lot of fiber friends in Australia. We really do. And one day when we get up the nerve.
Yes, I have watched a lot of Dr. Memories, Nancy. I know. 72 deadliest. Australia's always on the list multiple times. But anyway, we went to the shop that first night and kind of got a lay of the land. The next day, we got up, me, Jimmy, and Gigi, and we went and had breakfast.
Oh, what was that
the
called?
Streamline Diner.
Mm-hmm.
Them biscuits, as Gay would say, baby. Them biscuits, fresh out of the oven.
That was excellent meal.
Delicioso.
That was excellent meal. The waffle was great.
Everything was great.
It came late, but it was great. It was great.
And that was nice. Look, see Gigi, baby. Delicious. We had breakfast and went to Walmart to grab a couple of little things we needed. Went back to the hotel. Took a little breaky break because the event didn't start until 5. We chilled out and then we got ready and headed to back to the Lamb and Kid to prepare for the evening's festivities. So before the doors even opened, it was about 4:30. There were 2 wonderful ladies. And this was the cutest thing. This always cracks me up. And they were wanting to know if tickets were still available for the evening's festivities, which they were. But they said one of the ladies said she was on Instagram and she saw the reel of Gigi going into the store. And then she saw that Jimmy and I were coming. And she said she called up, her girlfriend, and she was like,
"You up?
You up?" And they drove 4.5 hours one way to come and meet and greet. They're here? Wait. Oh, no, Gigi's talking about what they said. Yeah. They're here. Yeah, they came, 4.5 hours just to meet and greet and hang out. And that was just that. Doors hadn't even opened yet. First experience. But the doors opened and the people came and they were so kind
Respectful. Because we wear masks.
There were some people, who maybe they didn't have one on, and when they came to talk to us, they put theirs on. Just everybody like showed like love, and it was a good food, right? They had like this beautiful catered spread for everybody. There was prosecco, um, just
But like
what?
you weren't feeling the food but so much though.
Why you say that?
Because you was like, hey, because
Oh,
I mean, the spread was good.
it's not the spread's
She
fault. I
has
have the
a
palate of a
palate of
2-year-old.
She does. Like, so she was looking and she's like, yeah, that's cool. Give me some grapes and all that stuff. But then she was like, nah, I need something more.
Like Jimmy could be like, I'm gonna take you to Paris and we're gonna go to this restaurant. Hey, Carrie, with a world-renowned chef who makes the most beautiful delicacies, and the waiter's gonna come over and ask me for my order. And I'm gonna say, you got chicken tenders? I like what I like. Okay. I like what I like.
Yeah.
So the food was a little too mature for me.
But as Sarah and the Lamb and Kid, man, they came through in the clutch, and they was like, "Ooh, so what else would you like? Would you like a chicken sandwich?" And let me tell you, whatever spot they got these, because they got some chicken fingers and chicken sandwiches. Wherever they got these chicken fingers and chicken sandwiches from, I don't know if they were setting everything up to make it to make it like y'all need to come out here.
That's what it felt like.
But like, I don't think I ate anything bad.
Yep.
The entire weekend, and the fish on Thursday night was great. The chicken on Friday night was it was slamming. Because I had she gave me half of her chicken sandwich, and we split some chicken tenders and some fries. And I don't even eat fries like that.
He
I
doesn't.
tore the fries up. Like it was great. That was great. But like the atmosphere, everybody showing love and taking pictures and chatting and hugging and laughing, and it was a beautiful experience.
We got to see Fatima and Marco. We didn't see the boys that night.
No,
we saw them Saturday. But Fatima and her partner, husband, Fatima of Disturbing the Fleece, and Marco came, and that was actually I've met them both before. Stitches United in Atlanta.
2019.
2019. So this was 2019 the first time.
If Fatima watched this. Because she argued me up and down.
That it was 2018.
It was 2019. Because Lola turned 3 that year. Yep. We had her party out there. Because we had the party at the Cheesecake Factory.
That don't matter. I'm sorry. All right. Look, Jimmy was like, it was 2019. Like they was arguing.
We did argue.
But we got to, I got to hug them and spend some time with them. And Jimmy got to meet them both for the first time. So him and Marco was sitting over there chatting and having a good old time. So that was wonderful. I'm trying to think. There was like so much happening at once. So there were so many people who came who knew who we were. But there were a lot of people who came that didn't know who we were. So we got to, see some of our familiar fiber friends, and then we got to meet new people, which was always, fun and a great thing. So we finished up right at about 9, and we snapped some pictures, and the shop is so spacious, and it was like we had the magic number of people. We hit the magic number, like that sweet spot where it's not crowded, right? There are people and everybody's having a good time, and there's like that buzz and everybody, but nobody was on top of each other. If you wanted to stay 6 feet away from somebody, you absolutely had like the room to like it was just absolutely perfect.
It was.
I felt safe. Um, you know, it was absolutely phenomenal. The duet shawls reception, y'all, when people received it and loved it and were buying up yarn and buying up kits and just really, really excited about everything that was going on,
Mhm.
right? So at that point, we were pretty pooped
Yeah.
at the end of that day.
Knocked out early.
Yeah, because uh no,
No, we didn't knock out early, did we?
no, I think we did. I think we were pretty exhausted, right?
Because we left the shop.
Because it was like after 9, which was like midnight our time, so we were still kind of like, okay, I'm tired.
Well, I mean, so relatively speaking, we knocked out. It was
Yeah.
because it was like 10:30.
Mm-hmm. And we finally got to sleep.
What did we put? We put something movie on that. That shit
The
started.
movie watched us.
American Gangster. We watched. We put American Gangster on. American Gangster started watching us.
Yeah. So then we got up the next morning, Saturday morning,
Mhm.
and that was non-ticketed, right? You didn't need a ticket. Anybody could come in and have some brunch and sit and knit and have a good old time. I almost lost my husband before the doors even opened for people to come in. I almost lost my husband. So there was yogurt and fruit and, you know, uh, apple fritters, angel cream filled donuts, old fashioned donuts, glazed donuts, mimosas. This was the spread, for the brunch. And I'm surely like forgetting some things because there was like granola, all types of jams and jellies and all of that fun stuff. How many donuts did you have? So, first of all, these apple fritters were the size of my face.
They were big.
So I cut one in 4 and had me a quarter. Jimmy,
Hmm?
how many donuts did you have?
I probably had good. Okay, so to be truthful, you only saw me eat about 3, maybe 3.5. I was snacking the whole morning.
So you had more than that?
Yo, I had to have at least 7 or 8 donuts.
I had to cut him off like we were at a bar.
She cut me off when we got home. Cause
Yeah, he
made
tried to
carrot
have
cake.
some ice cream a little while ago, and I was like, "Sir, you haven't digested the donuts
I
from
did.
Saturday."
It all went out, so I was good, right? But she wouldn't even let me have mommy carrot cake.
My mom made carrot cake. I was like,
carrot cake bomb diggy. She wouldn't even let me have it, and this is like 3 days ago. I ate them donuts, so it done processed it out my system.
but see, he's saying 3 days ago he ate them donuts, right? But he also didn't tell you how he was in his feelings because his jeans was a little snug. Remember that? You was feeling away?
Yeah.
And this is no judgment, but you can't come to me all emotional feeling away about your jeans and then eat all the donuts and apple fritters.
That's why my jeans are snug, because I've been eating all the donuts and apple fritters and shit. So I just had snug jeans.
He was like, babe. He was like, my jeans.
And to give people context, right? Because I wear sweatpants all the time because I don't travel for work. Like I work downstairs.
Mhm.
So I don't go anywhere. So all I wear is sweatpants. So all my joints be mad loose and stuff, all that stuff. And I just bought those jeans not too long ago. Because I had to, and the reason why I had to buy them because the old jeans I had wasn't fit no more either. So I had to go up a size. So I didn't wear jeans before that for maybe a few months. And I'm thinking, all right, I should be good to get in these jeans. I put them bad boys on.
He didn't try them on.
Not before we left.
Mm-hmm.
I put them bad boys on the Friday morning. I put them jeans on. I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't need a belt. That was for sure. I didn't need a belt at all, but I put one on, you know. It was just around the thigh, you know. And those that don't never see me, my legs, like I have tree trunk kind of legs. My wife loved my legs. She loved my legs. So like it, but you can see my legs in them damn jeans.
You can see his wallet.
Yeah. So
things were snug.
So I need to get right. And you know.
But
get right.
The doors opened. Oh, Gigi wore her stacks.
Are we going to Saturday morning? Oh, we are on Saturday. Yeah.
Gigi wore her stacks. She made sure she wore her 18-inch stacks. I was still taller than her. But she tried. Kudos. Shout out to her.
Show the accessories why she don't wear jeans anymore either. The space for food.
No space for food.
Yeah. Right.
Look, yoga pants, sweatpants. Give me elastic.
Facts.
But
thank you, Susan. Appreciate it.
Me, Jimmy, and Gigi and the wonderful folks at the Lamb and Kid, we were sitting and knitting and helping people shop and picking colors and meeting and greeting and eating and all of the fun things. And there were so many people who showed up on Saturday. Surprising us. So Vanessa Smith Designs, and we'll go back in the show notes. We'll put like all of these different, people and things and their IG handles and stuff.
DK, she in the house.
But yes,
she's there too.
But she was there. DK Graham came and we got to hug and chit chat a little bit.
That was the second time I met DK.
Was it?
Seen her somewhere else.
I'm trying to remember. Was it? It wasn't Rhinebeck. Was it? Because she's West Coast. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
Did she come to
Woolen Folk? What?
No, not Woolen Folk. Knit Stars? Was she at Knit Stars?
It'll come to us.
It'll come to me.
Or she'll let us know. See, that was the first time. Yeah.
I could have sworn I've seen you before.
She probably just has one of those familiar faces. No? You could have swore you saw her before? All right, maybe you did. All right. Anyway, so we got to hug on her.
We did get to hug.
And Gigi, I was in the back because every now and again I'd go in the back and kind of simmer down a little bit because it can be a lot. You need like a little breaky break. And Gigi comes back there and she's like, I have a surprise for you. And look, me being all peopled out. Do I got to get up for it? She was like, nope, I'm going to bring it to you. And in walks Nikisi. Cosmic Crochet Designs. And I jumped up and I screamed.
Literally.
And I hugged her and I hugged her and I hugged her. Because she is one of my most favorite people. I love her art, her artistry. I love her as a person, just like what she brings to the table and how she brings it. How vulnerable she is and how she talks and shares so much of herself, which is a wonderful thing that people don't have to do. But when people do it, just to kind of let people know that they aren't alone, right? That there's somebody going through the same things you're going. Like, she's just one of those people. And we talk off social media. And I knew at some point I was going to be able to like put hands on her and hug her and get to meet her. I just didn't expect it to be, on the West Coast because she's on the East Coast like I am.
She's 3.5 hours away.
Yep.
Out of Florida.
So that was a wonderful, wonderful surprise. Fatima and Marco came back and they brought the boys. And I said
the young
this,
men.
the young men, excuse, they're
Jesus.
babies. They're the babies, even though they're both taller than me.
Whew.
But again, I hadn't seen them since 2019, and they were like these cute little brown faces coming. And I remember I helped them pick out some yarn for some stuff that they were going to make. And I was like looking down. I almost like kind of kneeled over a little bit, to talk to them to make sure they could hear me and I could hear them. And they walk in and I'm like, yo, fam. But I told Fatima and Marco, I said, it was nice seeing y'all, but the kids, that's where it's at, the boys. So I asked for permission. I asked them if it would be okay if I gave them hugs, and they were absolutely fine with it. So I got to squeeze on them, and show them love and get some love back. So that was beautiful, and I enjoyed that. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Making Co, the Making Co app. Jen from Making Co and her friend Val, or our friend now, we all friends.
Yeah, we all friends now.
Before we headed out, we had a conversation. We were going to kind of, after the festivities were over, step off to the side and have some lunch or a drink or whatever, and have a conversation that was business related as well. But we got to sit down and have some really good pizza.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
we didn't have bad food not once.
I'm about to say, I can't overstate how good all of the food that because like I be here in Georgia and like we go to the same spots, and like even the stuff that we eat all the time, like you know what I'm saying? Like, but like everything was on point out there, like everything.
Yeah. But we got to hang out.
We gotta go back.
And we got to, he's like, I'm gonna go back now. We got to hang out and we got to talk. And Jen is just another one of those like phenomenal,
sweet.
She's sweet, she's kind, but she don't take no shit.
Zero.
And she won't allow, if you're with her, you ain't nobody gonna give you shit either. Like, it was just really, really nice to like sit down and, have a drink and some pizza and talk with her for a little bit. So expect to see some things, some more things between Lola Bean Yarn Co. and Making Co. and Jen and Ashley and all of the lovely, wonderful humans behind Making Co. So we got to do that. Jimmy was talking shit.
That's what I do.
Was talking shit leading up to.
I was.
This.
I did.
Jimmy was talking shit up until the minute we walked into the shop.
I mean, you expect anything less?
And Jimmy got yarn.
I did. You got yarn first, but I got yarn too. Beautiful yarn.
Wait, first of all, it doesn't matter who got what first, because I wasn't talking smack to you, telling you, you better not. And
listen, I didn't say better not. You said that you wasn't going to do anything.
I really had no intentions
I know you didn't have any intentions. So that's all I was doing.
No, but you were being like, you were following me around. You were harassing me. What's that in your hand? What do you have there? What do you like? Shoe. Right?
I was just trying to support you.
Next thing I know, I look down and him and Sarah got a pile of yarn on the floor there, picking out colors for his project.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how quickly the tables have turned. How quickly the tables have turned. So I guess now is where we'll show.
Yeah, we've been almost an hour and a half and ain't show no damn yarn.
The yarn. Well, this is good. This is like the wind down. Like this is, we can leave it on this note. But I would like to say, in all honesty, neither one of us had any intention on like going out there and buying unreasonable like amounts of yarn and spending and things like that, because we're in the middle of renovating, right? We're in the middle of renovating. But I did say I was gonna buy myself like a project to work on while I was there because I didn't bring one. But Sarah, being who she is,
I love Sarah. She's a wonderful human being.
She talked to me several times, and Jimmy as well, throughout, the days that we were there, just about growth, and the business and smart things to do, and things to avoid, and just commiserated and understood exactly where I am, like in my, my business career, where I am, um, and how she can relate, both her and Bob,
Like, man, listen,
how they can relate,
yeah,
and to just like give us the real, not the sugar coated version of like to have a real conversation about growth, what it means, what it takes, what to avoid, what to embrace, how to move, like to have those conversations and to offer, at any time, for us to be able to like use them as a resource for how to move and how to grow and how to build and how to avoid burnout and those things. There was a lot of that, um, for which I am like so grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, she knows, and we had this conversation off to the side when I like picked out the yarn for my project and I was gonna um grab it, and she's like, when you dye yarn for a living and you're always working with yarn, it's really hard to get excited about yarn. Um, but when you find yarn that still excites you, that's like a gift. Um, which is, the conversation she said and had to me. And she said she refuses to charge Jimmy or me for, the yarn, while we were there. So not only did they open up their doors and make sure that we were like so well taken care of, and they were kind and accommodating and fun and funny. I'm talking about fun. Like we had a good old time, lots of laughs. But they were very generous.
Yeah.
We left there with our hearts full, our bellies full
as hell,
and another suitcase full.
Yeah. She tried. Adela tried hardest.
I tried to pay. Because I don't go places like looking for free things, right? I'm like, this is for my project. I'm gonna pay for this.
Your money's no good
here. And what did she looked at me, she laughed, and she was like, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
And just kept talking. Like, you ever see somebody like shut you down while they're like smiling at you?
Yeah, Blair shut you down too.
Yeah, absolutely. Twice. Because then Sarah wasn't there. And I'm like, okay, I can go pay, right? I can pay for this. Blair was like, and I'm like, but she's not here.
She's always here.
She's always here.
They pulled the ledger out.
So
what you got there?
What you got there?
Okay.
Thank you. I was like, damn, son. Okay. Like, I love y'all, but but just that generous. They have set the bar for any future like collaborations, trunk shows. And I'm not talking about the yarn, free yarn. I'm not talking about that. Just in terms of treatment, right? And making respect.
Sure comfortable, making sure that all
safety.
Of our needs were met. Like we didn't want for anything.
We didn't need anything
at all. It was a great overall experience. And like I said that, like, that was the best experience. I've been to many places with Adela where we've done these like meet and greets and things like that. This is by far the best experience I've ever had. And like again, this kind of like sets the bar for that. So
You wanna?
Yeah. So let's start off here.
You got gifts yarn in there too. Somebody gave you gifts.
We're gonna get to that. So first and foremost, the project that I actually
I'm not making fun of you.
No, it's wild, right? Because so for those that know, the last project that I completed was my Easy Beanie. That was last year when I completed that. Like literally around this time last year is when I completed my Easy Beanie.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I loved it. Right. I didn't cast on the project after that. So this is the first project that I've casted on in over a year. Right. And it's the what was it? The Friday Shrug by Jackie Rose of Caddy Jack's Knits.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And if there might be some video and pictures out there. If not, we'll make sure that we post them of this shrug that I was modeling that I had on. And I was like, you know what? I got to have it. I got to have it in those exact colors. One of the colors weren't there, so we replaced the color. But this yarn,
that's what spoke to you.
This is Elmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out there.
Mm-hmm.
So because so I have to fix this. So what I actually cast it on, but
it's okay
because I've been out of practice so long, my tension was extra, and it was extra tight, and it popped.
He broke his tension was so tight he broke the yarn.
I broke the damn yarn. So I was and she told me, she's like, no. Wait till later to cast on. Don't cast on. I was like, nah, damn this. I'm gonna cast on now because I want to sit and knit, right? So I cast on. I was in the back by myself, and then like I got to that start to do that first row. I knit purl, and then so I'll be spending at some point this week. She's gonna help me to rescue my project. So I have that one.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
The labels are. So this is Cobalt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is Cobalt. This is Elmer. This is the name of the base. Elmer is finger and weights, 80% merino, 20% cashmere.
Mm-hmm.
It's so soft.
Want me to hold them for you? And we'll link, all of this yarn and all of the colors. And
yes,
this is the one that speaks to me.
Yeah, that is Starsky.
Starsky.
That is Starsky. Same base. Elma base. Finger and weight. 80% merino, 20% cashmere, and this is Cork. So those are the first three colors that I'm supposed to be working with that the shrub. And then we have additional skeins that go along with it, right? Well, she put them. She was so beautiful enough to put the letters on them. So it's ABC, D.
So you know what order to use them in?
You know what order to use them in. F.
Mm-hmm.
D. There we go. So I could do that next. And let's see. So cork isn't. So that's that one, right?
So you want to hold these up so they can see?
Yeah. So this one is cashew. And after cashew is cookie. F. Where's F? And loam. So loam is actually a replacement color for the shrug. Because it was another lighter color they didn't have anymore. But when we looked at it, it was like, ooh, that flows with it too. So loam is gonna be in here. So it's F. G is sweatshirt. Gray is my forgot the whole name of that.
We'll figure it out and put it in the notes.
But is gray is my jam. I think that's what it's called. Gray is my something. Right? And this is the last color in it, and this is Wayfair.
Gray is my favorite color. Blair knows. Thank you, Blair.
Thanks, Blair. Appreciate you. So these are all of the colors. Oh, wait, no.
Those two. Yep.
These are all of the colors that are going to be in my Friday shrug.
Hold them like a bunch of flowers, like a bouquet. There you go.
Bam.
Perfect. So these are all the colors that are going to be in his Friday. It's Friday?
Friday shrug.
Friday shrug.
Mm-hmm. And that's not all that I got.
Oh, you got more yarn?
I did get more yarn.
Tell me.
I got some yarn. So Fatima gifted me some yarn from two of my favorite people, actually. So we have some yarn from Kiki of Black Smoke Fibers. Big shout out to Kiki. She was doing her thing. This is Gray Fox. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
DK weight yarn here. Oh, sorry. And then my homie, Shoba. Big shout out to Shoba. I love Shoba. I love Shoba. So these are the two skeins that...
It's a nice green there.
I know.
So this colorway is Fresh Pine.
Fresh Pine.
And it's worsted.
Yes. He was getting a little comfortable with it. And I know how it is, though. And I also got a Disturbing the Fleece pin from my homie, Fatima. Appreciate you, Fatima. Appreciate Kiki, Shoba, everybody at the Lamb Kid.
Right? Isn't he did, even though I was talking smack, I'm put your pattern back in your project bag.
Oh, yes.
Even though I was talking smack about the yarn, I was really proud. I was like, look at him liking something and getting help with. Stroba says she'll dye some for me, so I don't need your skein.
I know.
I'm gonna get a fresh skein.
Do you?
But Jimmy did really good picking his project and getting help with his colors. So I needed something to work on while I was there. And it was funny because Sarah had caked up yarn to make herself a Saturday shrug. And she pulled it out and I saw the colors and I gasped.
She did.
And I was like, I want to make one of those in those exact same colors. We'll be twins. And the yarn she caked up, she just pushed it towards me and she gave me some size 9 needles and she said, there you go. I'll cake myself up some more. So I needed a project to work on. So I started, and I'll take better pictures. The light is like really blowing out these colors. But the Saturday Shrug, this is Pebble Dash in Loam and Pebble Dash in Atomic is this colorway, which is a worsted weight. And then what is the lace weight? Is that Birdie? I think this is Birdie.
Yeah.
Birdie, which is a lace weight. So you hold your worsted and your lace weight together.
You lifted there's the camera up there.
Oh, sorry.
But the light is
blowing it out. Yeah, I'll take better pictures. But you hold those together and it gives you a bulky weight. So we're striping. I did my first green in Loam, then I did Atomic, and now I'm back to Loam again. So that was the project I was working on while I was there. And I'm still working on it. I was working on it today. But talk about simple projects. Remember, I said I always need a simple project because I get very easily distracted. My mind tends to wander. And sure enough, all this is knit one, purl one in the round, right? I wound up going in the wrong direction. Like I put it down for like 10 seconds and picked it back up. And somehow I did a missy. I flipped it. No, leave that. Fatima put that on there. So I know this is the right side. So I'm going. So I go in the right direction. Yeah, so I put the daggone thing down for 10 seconds, picked it back up, and did a missy. I flipped it and reversed it. So Fatima tinked back for me and got me back on track. And then she put a little piece of blue there, so I knew that I was using or knitting on the correct side there. So every time I see this blue, I know I'm doing the right thing, because listen, it is what it is. But she was kind enough to help me. Then she did some magic trick with yarn, like, when you finish one ball and you got to connect another ball, and it wasn't like that join that people do, but it was like she weaved one side into the other side, and then it all stood together, and it was wild. So again, it's always great to have designer friends, because they help you when you do silly things. So that was that project. But then, here we go. Here we go. Going through the same thing. Don't judge me. Let's go to my photos. So there is a pattern there at the Lamb Kid called the Sampler Shawl. You can hold that up. See if, nope, can't see it. Light blows it out. Oh, well. We're going to link it in the notes. But
yeah, the light is
blowing it out. Yeah.
Shine. Let's see.
So let's see.
Oh.
What happened?
Check that out.
Yeah, you can kind of see it if you squint your eyes.
Squint your eyes.
And hold your device like this. Maybe you can see it. But we're gonna link to it.
Yeah.
So what I did was,
Sarah's so cute.
Isn't she? I said, this is Pebble Dash. Todd. I would like a sampler shawl for
Somebody said
me.
a Russian join, maybe?
It wasn't the Russian join. Hold on, that's all Pebble Dash. This is Todd. This is Todd. This is Pebble Dash. I wanted sample shawls for me and Lola. So I'm going to show you my palette and Lola's palette, and you'll know whose is whose. So I need this. This is Pebble Dash. This is Lola's palette. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Bear with me, y'all. I got yarn everywhere. Here we go. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I'm missing something here.
It's coming, Macy. It's coming.
And I think it was this one. So for Lola's sampler shawl, this is her palette. It is very much Lola. And this is their Todd base. And what you do is you'll hold a strand of, whatever color you're working on with a lace weight carried all throughout. So this lace weight gets carried with each and every one of these colors throughout the entire shawl. So this is Lola's sampler, her sampler shawl palette.
That is Lola.
You want to make yourself feel less guilty about acquiring yarn, even if it's gifted, right? Say you're making something for somebody else. Makes you feel, I got this to make my mom something. Nobody's going to be like, don't make your mom anything. Why'd you get more yarn? You don't need to make it. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to be like, you don't need to make Lola a shawl. Nobody's going to say that. So this is for Lola, right?
It is really for Lola.
No, it really is for Lola. Like those are her colors. And then my sample is very Adela.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my palette. My palette, I'm going to carry Looking Glass is the name of the lace weight throughout the entire shawl with these 5 colors. So, and would you
already
look
said you seen the pink news for something for Lola, one for you.
look at me having projects. Give me props for that. I had projects, like, I didn't just grab things to grab things.
She had projects of mine.
Projects. I had a plan.
That's good.
Doesn't happen often,
It really doesn't.
but it did.
This time.
This is actually giving me like Halloween vibes.
I was just thinking it
Right?
reminded me of skeins.
That's the color palette.
That is the color palette.
Holy guacamole.
You don't have it up.
Look at that. So those 2 shawls here.
Sorry.
That's all right. Then you can just toss them right there next to all that other yarn from Lamb and Kid down there. from other packages she sent me. There is a green. Here you go, purple. There's a green in Pebble Dash, and if you're not familiar, listen. If you have the ability to treat yourself, right, or work with Pebble Dash, it's worsted weight, 100% cashmere. Please do. Please do. I have the 2 shawls, and these are the Sunday State of Mind shawls. Back here are knit using the Pebble Dash.
She loves those damn shawls.
I love those shawls. I love this base. It's probably, I love all of the Lamb and Kids bases. I love all the Diamond Lane bases, but Pebble Dash is an absolute upstate. Thank you. What I say? Sunday, Friday shrug, Saturday shrug, Sunday state, like
Monday, Tuesday,
I'm out of it. Upstate of Mind Shawl. Thank you, Blair. But Pebble Dash. So there was a sample there called Surf and Turf by Jill Zelensky. And I was looking at that Surf and Turf sample and the Pebble Dash. And there's a green. I don't have it here because it has not been released yet. But there's a green. It hasn't been released yet. I have some. Sarah sent me, when she sent me some yarn for the duet to work on my duet sample, she included some Pebble Dash in this brand new green. So I already had the main body of the shawl. I already had yarn for the main body, and I just needed my stripy colors. That's what it looks like. I don't know if they'll be able to see that, but we'll link to this as well. But I needed some colors to go with my little waves, my little stripies. And you got bigger hands than me. You can hold these up like this. There you go. So they can see that palette. So the main body of my shawl is going to be like this really beautiful kind of scummy green, those are my favorite. And then those are my waves.
The lighting is terrible.
Yeah, it happens. But people get the general idea.
Like I said, you take some pictures.
Yes.
And
so 3 shawls. 3 shawls. Yarn that I actually know what I'm going to do with, that I had purpose, and that my friends at the Lamb and Kids so generously gifted Jimmy and I.
Yeah, that's upstate behind us.
You can grab one, show it to the people. So I did not purchase any yarn without a pattern in mind, or not even purchase. I wasn't gifted any yarn without a pattern in mind, and I'm so proud of that. I'm also lying because I have a bag of yarn in my hand that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. But isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely stunning. Like, those are two of my most favorite shawls. Like, for real.
These are fun. These are very fun. Yeah, this lighting is freaking horrible.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Yep.
What's this other stuff right here?
That's actually lamb and kid yarn that I already had. Remember the cardigan that Caitlin was wearing, the long cardigan? I didn't get to that yet. The long cardigan that Caitlin was wearing?
Yeah.
That's the yarn
okay.
for that. And I've had that for forever. I just brought it out because it's from Lamb and Kid, and I had like a Lamb and Kid chair theme going. This is Blair's fault. Mm-hmm. Can y'all see that?
Over there, the camera's up there, not in front.
Okay, but if I'm looking here and I see myself, wait, listen, help me. I want to understand something.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing there is exactly what everybody sees, right?
Yes.
So if I'm going like this and I can see the yarn right there, that's what
Okay,
everybody sees, right?
Yeah. My bad. Do you?
Apology accepted. All right, so this is Elmer Tweed. This is 70/30 merino cashmere, 400 yards, 100 grams. Look at that tweedy cashmere merino. Yummy.
And this is special because it got wrapped up.
And this is Elmer Tweed in like gray. And it looks like there's a little tweedy rainbow in there. Right? So we need to make something with stripes where we alternate these two colors. What say you, Jimmy? Stripes?
Sounds good.
Sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there was this. And then I'm minding my business. And Blair's like, you know, we have green tweed. Green tweed? You don't say. Green. Look at that. It like blends in. Look at it with the wall. Green tweed. Y'all, green tweed. Green tweed. 70% merino, 30% cashmere.
It's nice.
Right? And I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And Blair's like, let me show you a sample where it was used. And they held some lace with it. So you can see the beautiful fabric that it created. So that's the lace that gets held together with this. And I promise you, the color, the result is going to be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Blair's fault.
Blame it all on Blair.
Blame it all on, I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Blame it on Blair. So just look at that. That is, look at all this green. Greens on greens on greens. You want dark green, neon green, scummy green, evergreen, like green. You can never have enough green. So that was from our friends at the Lamb and Kid. When I say they sent us home with full hearts, full bellies, and full luggages with yarn, they absolutely did. And I will be thanking them from now until the end of time.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back.
And we're gonna buy stuff this time.
You can try.
We'll try.
Just have to order it online. Or order it and then do store pickup.
Or order it under pseudonames.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know it's us.
Okay. Semi Joven. just reverse the letter.
Reggie Cunningham.
Reggie Cunningham. It's like Betty White just ordered yarn from us.
Reggie
yeah,
Cunningham
that's me.
And Dolores Scruff.
Very generous. Yeah. Very, very, very generous. And set the bar really, really high. Just for future collaborations. And I'm pretty sure this is not the last time Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Bones Spalding said we'll be back to Washington. And just Gigi and Sarah and Bob and everybody at the Lamb and Kid. We had a phenomenal time. And then like the icing on the cake for me. I don't know if Jimmy agrees, he'll let you know, or if Gigi agrees, but after we got everything done Saturday, we went out. It was just 6 of us, right? 6 of us. Mm-hmm. Caitlin, Selena, Gigi, Sarah, me and you. 6 of us. Went out, and again, Italian food. Delicioso, right?
I don't generally finish a plate when I go out to eat. Like, not the whole. I don't scrape the plate when I go out. There's usually a little bit left over. Oh, food.
Mm-hmm.
I scrape the plate.
Yeah. And
we have more pizza.
Yeah, as appetizer. Pizza for appetizer. Listen, if you're not having pizza for an appetizer, we're not rolling with you. I'm just saying. But all kidding aside, so the icing or the cherry on top was we were sitting there and just kind of having, small talk and laughs and those types of things when Caitlin was looking at her phone and said the duet shawl pattern is number 1 on Ravelry. So if that wasn't the cherry on top to a phenomenal weekend filled with fun.
The spot was called Joe's, right?
Yeah, Joe's. Over by the inn at the Pleasant Beach. It was over there, Joe's.
45-second walk from the room.
From the room, yes. But when Caitlin said, the pattern is number 1 on Ravelry, we all toasted to that. For all of this to start over a FaceTime conversation, right? Oh, Gigi, go back. Let me look at their booth again. To people flying in from across the country to meet and greet and hang out. Good night, Shoba.
See you later, Shoba.
And then for her pattern to be number 1. Right? How phenomenal.
That's great.
How phenomenal is that? That was just the icing, the cherry on top. So, shout out to the Lamb and Kid. Shout out to Gigi and Caitlin and all of the kids at the Lamb and Kid. all of the people who showed up.
Shout out to Vanessa,
Vanessa,
Nikisi,
Fatima, Nikisi,
DK Brand,
Kristen, just everybody who showed up, showed out, showed love. We had a phenomenal time. There was one time where I thought, oh no, something bad is about to happen. Because on Saturday, like a lot of the people who came in were just looking for yarn. They didn't know who we were. They didn't care who we were. I just came here to give me some yarn. And I was standing next to a lady and she's looking at my yarn and she's like, I don't know who the hell this Lola Bean is. And my heart stopped for a second because I'm like, oh my God. You know, I thought she was about to say something awful. She was like, I don't know who the hell this Lola Bean is, but she dyes some beautiful yarn. I was like, I said, this lady about to insult my yarn and my feelings are gonna be hurt. But that was pretty funny. So getting to see old friends, new friends, it was a phenomenal trip.
Jen, I forgot Jen.
Jen, yeah, just so many people. And I'm sure like I'm gonna wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because that's what my anxiety does. And I'm be like, oh, I forgot to mention, oh, I forgot to.
I met like 15 Jens.
A lot of Jens. Very popular name.
Kate's.
But yeah. So thank you. And we figured we'd just do this live and kind of talk about and show some yarn and that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So
because for the last couple of hours I've been smelling that food.
You hungry? Jimmy's hungry. My mother's downstairs frying chicken. She's downstairs frying chicken. So we're going to leave you all. We're going to bid you adieu. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to try to be more consistent with these lives.
But y'all know, those have been following us and rocking with us for a while. Y'all know what it's been like since the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's things feel like they're settling. But yeah.
After the beginning of this year, this is exactly what we needed.
It is absolutely
exactly what we needed. So y'all have a good night. We love you. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Be kind to yourselves.
Yes.
And one another.
Yes. Be kind to yourselves and one another. And we're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace.